What's up, everybody? It's Cool Sports Guy. Welcome to the pod. Today, we're going to be talking to Taylor Machine Gun Mauldin joining us today. And here she comes. Hello, Taylor.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good. I'm great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show. A lot going on, the brand new year and everything. So I know that you've had a great start to your career. So I'd love to get into that as the interview progresses and everything. So thought the best place to start would be at the beginning, if that's okay with you. So I know, like right now, you're training at a Millennia MMA, right? Start with your beginning with how you got there and what's the atmosphere like in Millennia?
It's definitely challenging in the sense that there's a lot of high-level athletes, so you're constantly being pushed to your limits. But it's for it being so challenging. There's all the joking around where everyone gets along. So for the most part, it's a positive environment. We do like talk shit to each other, but it's all a fair game and just.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah. No, it's nice to have that camaraderie and everything. Kind of people push you in the same direction and everything. So I guess that answers my question. What's the atmosphere like? What are some of the key things you've learned over your time there? You've been there for a while, right?
Yeah, I've been here since I want to say since I was 13. So for quite a while. I'm 29 now. I just turned 29 last month. But so it's been quite the journey, and it's always been here. And my dad brought me here actually when I was 13. And so I've just been here ever since. And I think the biggest life lesson that I've had here recently is that just being consistent, because in the beginning phases of like just my martial arts journey, I wasn't really consistent. I was in the gym and then out of the gym, in the gym. And then I really committed when I was like 19. I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And once I committed to that, by the time I had a kid too. So that took some time away from the journey. But after that, I really have always been 100% invested. It took me about like a year to really like bounce back and be at that pre-pregnancy weight. And then I've just always been here. I can't leave. I don't know what it is. I'm like addicted.
Right. Well, that's good. Yeah.
Great at the same time.
No, it's pretty great. Yeah. Let's find places you like, and then it becomes home, your second home kind of deal, so.
I'm here more than I am home.
Right. That's pretty sweet. So what are some of your favorite parts? What are your favorite things while you're there at the gym?
Yeah, I'd have to say it's definitely the relationships that I've built, with Romy Ram, my teammates, my coaches, all that good stuff. So they basically, it's like been a big mentor in my life and have shaped the way I am as an athlete. And my dad's really invested in the sport as well. So he's shaped me as an athlete as well.
Nice. It's good to have that push, right? Yeah, like everybody just adds a little key to your success, right?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
So as far as your nickname, Machine Gun, where did that come from? How did that evolve?
I guess I have this tendency, like in sparring and in my fights, to really like pop off. So I guess I'm explosive, and there's no real middle ground for me. I'm never just like, all right, let's bounce around. I'm really like guns a-blazing in the sparring room and out in the like cage arena, whatever. It's just 0 or 100. So I'm still working on that. I'd hope to one day just be able to be at like find that happy medium. So because it's definitely like tiring being like that.
Oh yeah, and in which ways? Like just in general, like in the cage, or like in life?
Like no, like in the cage, when you get all fired up like that, you build up like a lot of lactic acid, and then it slows you down a little bit. Yeah.
I got you. Understood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's good to have that explosion and everything, but like nice little balance would. So as far as balance, you were talking earlier, like how to get how you were off and off in the gym and everything, and bouncing back and forth to get to a nice lifestyle that you have right now. Do you have like a schedule you like to keep, routines? Like what's a normal week look like for you?
So Monday through I'm here 7 days a week, but I do have my light days, and that's because I work here as well. So even on my rest day, which I think is good too, because I'm getting that mental aspect of it. Even when I'm, working, I'm constantly thinking and living martial arts. But my training regimen, like per day, is about 3 to 4 hours of training. And sometimes I'll taper down on a training session just based off of how well recovered I am. And this, because I know I've talked about it before, but I use this app. It's called Whoop, and it'll tell me how well I slept, and just making sure like I'm not overtraining, because if you overtrain, you're more like likely to get injuries. And so I really just try and, like, if I'm in the red, or if I'm in the yellow, I'll pull down a little bit, or I'll take it easy, but always consistent. Because to me, recently, I've just been on this thing where I just, like, I'm on a schedule, I'm show up, and I'm just there. I don't try to get those like mental roadblocks in the way, or let them get in the way. And then, like, oh, I don't want to do this, or something's going on in my personal life, I don't want to go to the gym. I show up no matter what.
Gotcha. Okay. How do you you have any like techniques to, like, or you're saying besides showing up, just like, is there something you do like that helps you push you past that wall kind of thing? Because everybody has those days where you don't want to.
Like, if I'm really down and out, like if it's a mental thing, I call my dad. Like, my dad's my go-to, and I just vent, or I'll just blast a song. I'll be like, just tune out the voices in my head and be like, nope. You ever hear like people talk about like like they talk in like third person? They're like, they're like, the little bitch in me was being a little bitch, and then they just like tell that bitch to shut the fuck up, and then just show up. That's what I kind of do the same thing. I'm just like, no, don't let the bitch take over, and just show up. And that's what I do. Yeah.
Nice. There you go. That's a good routine. Good technique right there and everything. What kind of songs do you listen to? Like, is there a certain band or anything, like, or just whatever's next to you?
Right now it's called Doja by Snot. That I listened to that on the way here because I was like trying to get in my groove.
Oh,
I
yeah?
was like, ooh, I bumped it up to 100%. And I was like, oh, that song just slaps. I love it.
Sweet. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's a nice mood enhancer, right? So
yeah, for sure. I was like, if I was tired, I'm not tired.
Right, for sure. So besides like calling your dad and everything, like as far as for support at home and all that, I know, like, how is it with like family life? I know you said you have a daughter, right? Is that?
I have two. I have a 12-year-old, and I have a 3-year-old. She just turned 3 in Monday, actually. It was Valentine's Day, so she's a Valentine's baby. Yeah. So just like, I know like regimen and everything like that, but whenever like because I feel like for some reason I feel like people think that if you have kids you can't really pursue an MMA career. And so I've always tried avoiding talking about the kids, but now I'm just like, they're like, the level of motivation I have because I have the kids is like, it's the number one factor. It's like, I don't come to the gym and mess around. I don't play grab ass at the gym. I take it serious. I take it like it's a professional career, because to me it is. It's not like I come to the gym 3 to 4 hours to mess around, because those are 3 to 4 hours I'm away from my kids. This is my entire being. This is my entire life. The time that I've spent away from the kids, like anytime I'm leading up to a fight, I'm like, man, like it's like such like an emotional roller coaster when I think about them, because they're like my number one motivating factor in being successful.
Very cool. Yeah. No, I mean, like, it's all about balance, right? Like, in finding that, and in family life and career wise, just finding that time for everything, and it all adds up in the end, like being able to know that you spent that quality time wherever you needed to be at. Right. So I completely agree. So like, how does your family like motivate you? And besides being there for you, is there certain things they do, like certain things that like they kind of like push you and say, this is what I'm doing this for?
Yeah, of course. My dad has always had a great sense of work ethic. He's always motivated me to be the best version of myself possible, because of the type of father he was growing up. I never saw my dad like take a day off of work. He always persevered always overcame any obstacle that was in his way. And he kind of just basically instilled that in his way of life. So that's always been a motivating factor for me. My sister also fights, so she's always motivating me. My mom's amazing. Both my parents are very supportive in my career path. They are like my number one supporters. It's you have to do this. I feel like you have to have that support system. If somebody is telling you, especially the people you love, is telling you like, I don't think this is a good career choice. It does take a toll on your mental state. It's like you always want to make your parents proud. And so for me to be able to pursue this and it's something that makes them proud is really satisfying.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's one thing, I notice, when you see people in the cage and you see people fighting and everything, a lot of people, I think, tend to forget all that journey that it takes to get there, And that's why I ask those kind of questions to figure out, see, like, what motivates you and just show people that there's more to that, than what's being shown those 3 rounds,
Oh, yeah. There's so much behind the scenes than what is like actually broadcasted, like the UFC and stuff. They don't show the like birthday dinners you miss. They don't show the all the aftermath, the before the fight, all that stuff. It's just,
it takes a toll, yeah, for sure. And the support system is definitely important, for what you do, So, do you consider yourself more self-motivated or just or family-oriented or family motivated or a little bit mixture of both, you think?
I would definitely say self-motivated and like family motivated, just because, or like outside motivated, just because like I have a level of determination just because of the type of person I am. But then I'm also very motivated by the sacrifices I make for my family, for my kids, as being a provider and things like that. It's just a mixture of everything.
Gotcha. Okay. And so I think you covered this. I mean, your father is a very important part, and some lessons that he imparted on you throughout the years. You were saying that he's a hard worker. That hard work ethic is part of what got you in there, right? Aside from that, like, what's the most difficult part for you for being an MMA fighter, though? Like, as far as going through the daily grind and everything that you do.
Daily grind. I feel blessed to be able to do this on the daily. The only, I would say, biggest downside is injuries. Injuries happen. There's nothing you can do to avoid it because it is a contact sport, and that's just the inevitable. But because I did break my collarbone actually, like I think like 6 to 5 months before the last fight.
Wow.
And so it was really horrible, but I mean, it's the game. So
Man. How's recovery for that? How long does that take to recover from collarbone?
So they told me it would have taken like 6 months, but I'm like, did not listen.
Right.
I was able to, the break was so bad that they had to put a plate in. So because they put the plate in, my healing time was less in comparison. Because usually they don't, if you break your collarbone, they usually don't put a plate in, depending on how bad the break. But my break was so bad that my bones were overlapping. So they were like, oh, okay, well, we have to put a plate in. I was like, oh, thank God, because it would have been a year. And I think is like 6 months, because I always tell myself whatever the doctor says, it's half of that. So he was like, all right, well, you'll be 100% in 6 months. I was like 3 months, 100%. I remember one of the last ones, one of the last doctor visits I went to, he's like, okay, you're good to go to like start getting hit. And I was like, oh my God, I've been sporting this whole time and like doing crazy stuff. So I clearly did not follow the I had surgery, and that week, by the end of the week, I was already just drilling because I don't know. I guess it's like a little unhealthy.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just crazy.
Well, yeah, I guess as long as you did it safely, I guess that it worked out pretty good, right?
I would leave crying. There was no safe way to do
it.
I was just, that's like just how determined I was. I was like, no. I lived the whole time I had the broken bone. I lived in constant denial. Like I was on the heavy bag training with my broken bone, like sticking.
Oh my gosh.
No.
So
When I just was like, this is horrible.
how was the team taking that? What, they were just pushing you along, or how
I didn't. People knew, but I was just like so upset about breaking my collarbone that I didn't really talk about it. But my teammates were so supportive. They were like, hey, they checked up on me. They were like, they encouraged me. They were like, I don't know. They respected the hard work. So like, kind of put some respect on my name.
Right. Oh yeah, I think you earned it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, coming back ahead of schedule and everything.
A broken collarbone, and I can't even get my ass to the gym.
Yeah, for real. No excuses, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, oh that's a pretty good journey right there. Was that before your first fight, or that was before your second one?
So I won my first fight, and then I think like a month later, I broke my collarbone.
Oh wow. Okay.
2 months.
Gotcha. Man. Okay. So you did pretty. Yeah, that's pretty good recovery there.
So 10 out of 10. That is the worst thing about turning. Injuries.
Injuries.
Yeah.
That's the difficult part. Okay, yeah, I think we can mark that down as the most difficult part of being an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, clearly, like you did it right. You're coming back, you're doing good, and everything. So I know that you've had a couple fights, right? You went to LFA, and you've been fighting under them for a little while. How is LFA? Like, how is working for that promotion, and like, what's your take back from them so far?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. Because I'm managed with Iridium Sports Agency, when I got the call and they were like, hey, we have a fight offer, you think like, I didn't have that much experience as an amateur, but I have been around for a long time. So I was confident in my ability to do good, but I was like, man, but can I do good on in LFA, which is a big organization? I had so much respect for LFA. And I still do. I love LFA. My experience has been great, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm fighting for LFA. But it was awesome. They treated me great. It was good too, because at the time, there was no audience. There was kind of an audience there, but there was COVID going on. And so the crowd was very social distancing, and they had limited the amount of people that could be in the arena. So I think for my first professional fight, it was actually like perfect, because I was like adjusting to being on a big stage, and then it paid off.
Yeah.
My second fight with LFA, it was a big audience. And so I was like, oh, by the second one, I was like, you know what? I literally remember like getting my feet wet on the canvas and being like, just thinking like, this is exactly where I need to be. This is like such a calm state. I was like, man, like in the locker room or the week of your fight, you had so much anxiety. You like want to go, you want to get the win or whatever. But when I was in there, I was like, God, this is like so peaceful before like violence.
Yeah.
Going that way and turning to my coach and be like, this is exactly where I need to be. Like, I need this. I love this. It's so much fun.
That's a cool feeling to have. Yeah, going like the calm before the storm, having that peace right there and just being able to just take it all in, right?
It was exactly that. I remember like looking around at the crowd, seeing my family, just seeing everybody having fun, getting ready. And then the person in front of me, I was just ready to go. Felt amazing.
Nice. That's pretty sweet. How is that? Like you said, there was a smaller crowd, like being able to hear, like, I guess you can hear your corner a little better, right? At that point. How is that like being able to do that? Like, I know a lot of fighters, it's big crowds and you can't really hear people. It's just kind of everything taken in. How was that for you?
The first one, obviously, I could hear my coach very well. Second one, same thing. Even though it was a large crowd in the audience, I could hear him perfectly well. So it was good. I was glad to be able to get the feel of the cage and be able to fight and listen to my corner at the same time. And then as I progressed in the fight, I felt like I was able to hear him better. So the first round, I can't say that I remember hearing him, but second and third round, I definitely did hear him.
A little quiet. Yeah. Understood. Okay. So as far as your first fight, you go in there and you win via knee bar, and history in the making, right? Because the first woman to win with that specific submission, and fourth fighter overall to win with that in that fashion. So hearing that, like, what went through your mind hearing stuff like that, like making history, like right off the bat?
Yeah. So the funny thing is about that is like I was right after the fight, everything was cool. I'm like, all right, cool. I won, no big deal. Like, call dad. I say, Dad, I did
Right.
it. Are you proud? And then I went to go eat at the hotel restaurant, and there happened to be one of the guys like broadcasting there at the bar, and he was like, hey, I don't think you know like what you did. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, he was like, you're the first woman to have ever done a knee bar. And I was like, okay. And then like I got on social media and then all this stuff. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. This is insane. I felt so awesome. I was like, man, this is amazing. I guess I am cool. But yeah, that was like, I think if I had to look back, that was like my favorite part. And then obviously just like the rush of all the emotions. Like when I won, I remember just like I look back and I'm like, I can't believe I was smacking the mat. How embarrassing. No. And then I'm like, oh man, but that was like I cried happy tears because I was like, man, I knew how much I sacrificed. I knew that I wanted it so bad. I wasn't not like when I lead up to fights, I'm like, I will die in that cage because like I do not want to leave without my hand being raised. I'm gonna leave it all in there or not walk out.
Oh, you did that. Yeah, you didn't even take that long. You like it was a minute and a half, right? So
I didn't even feel it tapping me or anything. I just was like total psycho mode.
Yeah. Machine gun, right?
I remember grabbing and like, man, I bellied down so hard on the thing. I was like, I'm not letting go.
That was really good. Yeah, it was clean. It was just it came out of nowhere too. It was explosive. Yeah.
Like, they're psycho. Oh,
that's pretty sweet. That was really good. I mean, just going in there and being able to do that, like a lot different than your second fight, right? Like a lot more. The second fight went to all 3 rounds.
Right.
How did you like adjust? You know, knowing like, did you go in there thinking it was gonna? I mean, obviously nobody goes in there thinking it's gonna end really fast, but did it kind of throw you off being that long into the fight?
No. So actually, I talked about wanting the fight to definitely go the distance because I wanted to. I wanted to get the feel of it. Like I wanted to get my like 15 minutes of ring time. You know, I think it's a little more than that, but I wanted every minute of it, and I wanted to enjoy every minute of it because like we train like every day, and I'm like, and we train for those minutes. I'm like, I want to enjoy every minute I'm in there because I literally train my ass off for that. But then I understand like, and with the first fight I didn't get that, so for the second one I definitely wanted to. So, but I mean, obviously if it would have ended earlier, then it would have ended.
You're good, right?
I can't complain. I would never be like, oh man, around.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So there was a couple moments in that second fight. I was wondering, like, you got like you were in like she had you in an arm bar, and I think it was a triangle, I believe. Like it looked. How did you get out of that? Like it was like a magic act, you know. You were just escaping holds and everything. I don't know how you did that.
I stacked fast. I would stack, and I passed. Yeah. So I was just like, and there was no way like she would have break my arm, and then it would go with the other arm. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then the triangle, it was like the bottom of the third. Yeah, I walked up on a triangle, but I know that you just gable grip around the back, and she would have had to figure for the other way to fix it. And when she did that, I would have just popped up, just because you have to unlock.
That's just all the natural stuff that comes to your mind, just like quick, you know, get to it, right?
That's just drilling. That's just training. That's just hard work.
There you go. Yeah, and it paid off too. So you're 2-0 right now and doing great in the field and everything. So starting off with a lot of success right now. But how do you define success in your field? Like, what are some things you like look forward to do? You know.
How do I define success? I would say it's I don't want to say it's just doing good. I want to say it's more like overcoming. Because I find
Hmm.
like anytime I'm able to overcome something, anytime I feel like, you know, I wasn't like, I'm not a wrestler. Like, I didn't
Hmm.
wrestle in high school. I didn't wrestle in college, but I wrestled my last fight. And I'm like, and I hated wrestling, and I love wrestling right now. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with wrestling, and that's just one of those things. Like, I sucked at wrestling, and now I feel like I'm definitely overcoming that. I've
Hmm.
overcome the injury. I've overcome so much, and I find that to be like success. Like, I find success in overcoming obstacles in the fight game.
Nice. Okay. And so I think you answered that question. Like, what's your top strategy for success? And I guess being able to overcome those small challenges day in day out, right?
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
It's definitely showing that what all the hard work, like you said before, all the hard work that you've put into it, it's paying off and everything, and people are seeing it, and I'm glad to see it on such a big stage, like the LFA, right?
Yeah, and I think to add to just the success part, I think it's like work ethic. Like,
Hmm.
sometimes, like I've seen good people come in the gym, but you know what? It's not even just like a work ethic thing. It's like they're just not consistent. They just don't
Hmm.
come as often. They will come as often for a little bit, but then fall off. And I think
Hmm.
that like consistency and work ethic are just this two in one thing. Like,
Yeah.
it goes hand in hand. If you're not consistent, then do you really have like good work ethic? You're not in the gym all the time.
Hmm.
Like, maybe you dedicate the hour and you give it 110%, but then you don't come tomorrow, or you're not at the
Right. Yeah.
extra practice later. It's like, I think a lot
Absolutely.
of the reason why I'm so like successful at this point is because I'm consistent. I come
Hmm.
like, I don't make excuses. I show up, or like,
Hmm.
I'm dead or something, like, or I'm
Right.
deathly ill. But
Yeah.
I show up. I think that's why I think it's a big factor in being successful, and for any athlete.
Hmm. Absolutely. I mean, like from the stories you've already told, been breaking your collarbone and everything, like doing all those stuff, everything, you just showing up, and it's clear that you don't make excuses and everything. You're just showing up. There are like, is there ever a time when you see somebody that's kind of like teetering on the edge right there, kind of back and forth? Is there some like words of motivation you give those people, or something like something that you can tell them like that's quick and maybe effective to kind of push them in one way or the other?
Yeah, like if like people in the gym and stuff, like there's some people where I'm like, man, if they were on it, they'd be really good. And I
Hmm.
always just I harass them. I like
Yeah.
message them, I write them, I call them, I tell them constantly like, come on, come on, come on. But then, it's hard
Right.
to keep telling somebody to keep coming, 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 and then they just don't show up. It's just like, okay, it's your choice.
Right. No, of course, yeah. Like, I mean, it's in the end, it's their choice, to be able to make that decision to get there or not, So you can only do so much, right?
Right.
Oh, man. Well, are you a fan of like any other sports too, or is MMA just your passion and everything?
Um, am I wish I was, but I love MMA.
You know? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm just about MMA right now.
nothing wrong with that. No,
I mean,
that's
I know
good.
Super Bowl was like last weekend, and I had no idea what was going on. I was just like, I'm just
Yeah,
a Rams fan because they're the closest team.
right.
Horrible.
So I mean, you're happy that LA won, right? Like, it's close to home, basically.
Of course.
Yeah. That was pretty good. It was a great game too. I couldn't believe like I think the last 7 games in the playoffs were all decided by 3 points or less. So it was really great to see that close action. So
I know, I will say that I mean, I can obviously see points being brought up. So I was like, "Man, I thought they were gonna lose at the end, but then they came
mhm.
back and they did good." I was like, "Yeah, it was close."
Pretty nice, yeah. End to the season and another one coming right around the corner. So no, it's fine. Yeah, MMA is a great sport and everything. So I understand being focused and everything. It's your livelihood. So so anything like, I know you're there 7 days a week. You said any stuff you like to do for fun, like any movies you've seen recently, any books that you might recommend to people?
I'm totally gonna get made fun of over this,
Yeah.
but it is a book that has helped me,
Uh-huh.
not just like over the obvious, but just in life. But it's called How to Get Over a Boy
Nice.
by Childera Iguero. But it's really good, and it's not even just for girls. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it sucks that it's called that, but I'm just saying it has some awesome techniques, some nice, cool stuff. So I don't know, but it's a book that I honestly have been replaying it because it's so good. Like
Very nice.
self-love kind of thing. I know it says how to get over a boy, but it goes over a lot of self-love stuff, so that's why I like it.
There you go. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You can just
Like
substitute
talking to
boy.
a man.
You can just substitute boy for anything else, right? How to get over whatever, right?
Or girl. I
Yeah,
mean, you could probably get over a girl.
yeah, anyway, yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So, as far as like, I know we talk about motivation a lot and everything. I know like some things. Is there any like quotes that you like to? Is there anything like up on the wall in the gym that you like to? Any quotes that get you motivated and you see every day?
There's one, and I want to say I think my dad. He told me the quote, but he wrote it to me right before a fight. But he said, "The road has been crooked, but your aim has been true." And it's just so, when he told me that right before my last fight, and it just gave me chills. I was like, you know what? It's so true. I have been doing this since I was 13, and I've had my ups and my downs, and I've steered away and then came back. But the goal was always the same. Like, I always wanted to be the best. I've always been here putting in the work, and like, I just got to keep going. I got to see it through.
Nice. And you're doing pretty good so far, right? So, so like, what, as far as being your goal, being the best and everything, where do you see yourself in, like, say, 5 years? Is there some, like a vision, like a vision board kind of deal?
Yeah, I definitely. I hope that I'm so successful as a fighter that I'm able to buy a home. That was obviously one of my biggest dreams, and to be able to do that with my MMA career is to buy a house, for my family, and I hope that in 5 years I'm able to do that.
Nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, being able to lay down that foundation, right, and just go forward. Very cool. Last question I have for you. I know it's like a very odd one, but I read somewhere your best post-fight meal, your favorite is?
A Big Mac.
Big Mac, there you go.
Extra pickles.
That's the best. Yes, I love it.
Yes, I love it. I love Big Macs.
Have you always liked the Big Mac, like just, or it just became like one day Big Mac after a meal? I mean, after a fight, and then that was it, or do you use like, normal?
It's always been a part of my life.
Yeah, just get a free plug for McDonald's right there, so I'm sure we'll get.
Yeah, I'm like, you have to eat clean all the time as an athlete. Like, that's just too.
Oh yeah. I can imagine. Yeah, you have to like make sure you're preparing and everything like that. So Big Mac is not a free fight meal.
Oh yeah, you don't eat that before the fight.
No.
No.
So let's see here. I was going to ask you. Do you have any like what's the year coming up ahead looking for you? Do you have any plans already like for in the fight game, or is it pretty open right now?
Yeah, so I have one more fight left with LFA, and I'm hoping obviously they extend my contract, but because I love them, they're an amazing organization. But as far as right now, I don't have any fights lined up, but I do. While I am not in camp, I do like jiu-jitsu tournaments, so I can be in like JJ Worlds or Naga, things like that for the time.
Okay. And there's one of them coming up right now, or is it like
I'm going to do a March 1 in Upland. I just don't have the exact date. I want to say it's like March 20th.
March 20th. Okay. Sweet. Right around the corner, right? Yeah. So really cool. Do you have any like I think at this point, like I really appreciate all your time, and I thank you for setting up, doing this interview for us. Do you want to give any shout outs to your team, sponsors, anybody that might be out there?
Yeah, definitely. Abrino, Mala Mujer, Next Level Massage, and my gym, Millennia MMA. Those are the best.
Nice, very cool. And then I know I'll follow you on Instagram. Your Instagram. Is there any other places people can follow you as well?
No, just my Instagram name, just at Millennia. Oh no, at Millennia. at Taylor _Mauldin _93. That's where you can find me.
Very cool. Well, awesome. It's been really a pleasure talking to you and everything. I'm glad we got to sit down and talk about your move, your journey here, and wish you the best of success, throughout the year, and hopefully we can see you back in the LFA cage pretty soon, huh?
Yeah.
All right. I will. I'm gonna do one last video clip here, and then I'll sign off. Once again, thank you for watching, and thank you for being here, Taylor.
Yeah, no problem.